Societal social contract. The unspoken and spoken rules that we live by every day that we don't think about. So there's something in philosophy called the social contract. And what the social contract is when you're brought into general society, when you're born into this society, you have to abide by the laws. You have to go to school. You have to act in accordance with everyone else, or else you will be ostracized from society. You will be limited by the society. In return, if you follow these rules and you go in accordance with the laws, the customs that everyone before you has set in place, what society has set in place, then you will have access to society's benefits. If you don't follow these customs and rules, you will either A, be ostracized, be imprisoned, you will be barred from the benefits of society. So today we definitely live in a societal social contract. You're born as a child with no knowledge of the world, right? Your parents take care of you and they teach you these rules the second that you're actually, starting to learn, right? When you're crying in public, you get told to be quiet. When you're throwing a fit, you get spanked. You get punished for being rude, These are some of the earliest things that get taught to us. So if you're a child and you break certain rules, you go in timeout, you get your toys taken away. Your parents just, put you in your room. You're not allowed to go outside. You're not allowed to play. As you get older and you go to school, that's when it really gets stuck in. You have to raise your hand and be answered. You have to respect the teacher, respect authority, make good grades, show up to school on time. This is society's indoctrination. And so once you get through school, and I'm sure you already kind of know where I'm going with this, you graduate and then you're out in society. You're free, right? You're 18, you graduated, or if you dropped out, you're a free member of society. A few things could happen. You could go to college, you could get a job, you could join the military, you could do something to fit within society's, norms and become part of the machine or another brick in the wall, right? And if you try to go on a different path, society is going to punish you, right? If you steal, you'll get punished. If you hurt someone, you will be punished. You can't just walk around naked, right? We have rules. And, even outside of society, just in a group setting, you'll be ostracized for breaking the unspoken rules, right? Being rude, lying to someone, things that we deem morally negative. Now, this contract is an agreement that we follow these things, that society gives us a place, right? We get protection, from the law. The police are supposed to protect us. Job opportunities, we get a place in society. We can find a partner, a mate. We are able to grow our offspring and, thrive. And that's the idea, that if we work in unison and we respect each other and we follow the laws of society, that society will give us the tools to thrive and actually use society for our benefit and gain the benefits of the group dynamic. So my question right now for y'all and for myself, I guess, talking about this, as a young man, is the social contract currently, is it fair? Is it a scam? Is it bullshit? So the reason I bring this up is because some things that we need to have a fulfilling life, like having a good income, having shelter, maybe a house. There's a lot of things that are unfair right now as far as if you're a young man. Can't afford a house. It's very, most people's income is going to rent. That's like almost over 50% of some people's income is going to rent. And people just aren't thriving. And we're having to pay into Social Security, these programs. We have to pay these taxes. We have to follow these rules. But society is not giving us a fair deal, in my opinion. Instead, we're having to prop up an older system that's just not really serving us. While we're sacrificing ourselves to keep society running, but society is not giving us a fair trade, so to speak. That's why a lot of people are having trouble, creating families. People can't afford kids. People can't afford to get out of debt. And now we're kind of going to almost into debt slavery. Many people have ran up their credit cards. People have mortgages. People have to get a car loan to have a reliable car. These vehicles are rapidly increasing in price. If you want a decent vehicle, you could pay $20,000 to $40,000 for like a decent truck, a used truck. If you want to buy a brand new truck, the cheapest you could get one is probably around like $22,000, $24,000. But in reality, that's the MSRP online. If you go to a dealership, it's actually going to be marked up for the dealership. You can't just buy that truck, for the MSRP that you see online, right? So yeah, I think young men are getting shafted. I think we are getting shafted. We have to go out, we have to slave our lives away, work our asses off, put our lives on the line, just to where we can't even save anything. Most people have no savings now. The average American man has a negative net worth. And so a negative net worth, that just basically means debt. Men are having to go into debt to keep the lights running, to feed their kids, to take care of their wife, while they're working 40 to 60-hour weeks, sometimes even 80-hour weeks. A lot of guys have these side gigs going. And inflation is playing a big part in this shift. And I think the scales are kind of tipping where people are, definitely, Trump's landslide victory has something to do with, men feeling like they're getting screwed. Trump has his power because he is saying that he can basically fix this, that he can bring things back into balance for us, right? And I will say one thing, the Biden administration definitely didn't serve young men very well. If anything, it's almost like society hates us, right? But we're the ones that keep society running. The military, the fighting age young men, the working age young men, and the older folks are a higher population than us. They're not able to work anymore. We're having to fill the roles of society and fill in those jobs and do the same job with less population, fill in these vital areas, but they still don't want to pay us a decent amount while, we can barely just scrape by, as far as like the prices go. We can't save any money. Nobody's saving money. Nobody is really investing unless if, you have like, you're the top 10% of income. Look, there's always going to be guys, no matter what age, that are going to be on top of it, thriving. But I'm saying for the average man, this is like, there's data to back this up. And yeah, I can't cite the specific data, but you can look it up. But purely anecdotal, look at the average blue collar man or average working man. They are just being sucked dry. And, we're not even protected by the law anymore. The law seems more and more unfair. Men get shafted in court. Men get sent to prison like nothing, get sent to jail like nothing. And, we're just paying all these different things, paying all these taxes, paying Social Security, paying welfare, paying Medicaid and all this other bullshit that we don't even have access to. The average man can't afford decent health care as well, which is another problem. So like you don't have a good health care system. Women are demanding more from men now. So even a lot of men don't even have access to a woman, right? Most men are single. 30% of men haven't had sex in the last year. So yeah, there's certain people that are definitely benefiting from the current times. I'm not going to say there's people that aren't, but your average everyday worker, cog, the people that are breaking their backs, the people that are actually showing up to work, the people that are keeping this machine going are not getting very many benefits from the machine. They're just slowly getting worn out little by little. And if you wear out those parts are going to break and the whole machine's going to fucking stop running. So, yeah, the rules of society, and that's just my 2 cents on, where we are with the social contract right now. It's definitely out of balance, and we got to bring it back into balance if we want to claim our happiness back and get our future back. All right, peace out, fellas.